think all of us are anxious to get started and first of all play a game. It's great that we're going to open up in Kinnick and get a chance to do that and play several games at home here before we travel. And I think it'll be good for everybody involved. Certainly for our football team, we're eager to get on the field, and I think it'll be good for a lot of people in our state just to be able to take their minds off the challenges that we've faced for a couple hours here and get the football season started. So we're excited about that. Also of note, the 58 team is holding a reunion this weekend, and they'll be out at practice. It's exciting to have them here, and congratulations to all the Hall of Fame recipients as well. They're going to be honored this weekend, most notably at least coaching fraternity, Coach Davis, and then Marv Cook, a former football player. So we're really pleased for those, all the inductees. A couple words on Maine. Great respect for their program, and obviously have a familiarity with the program, and certainly extends to the coaching aspect. Jack Cosgrove's a guy I've known now for quite some time, since December of '89, I guess it would have been. And Jack's an outstanding coach. Has done a great job with the program there, former player, and has just done a great job with the program over a long period of time. And then Rob Smith, a guy that worked with us years ago, has done a nice job up there too, and has done a nice job as a defensive coordinator. And then the last thing I think about it is, we expect them to come in here, and they're probably a lot like us. They've got a lot of players that played last year. They're an experienced team. A lot of guys got good experience last year, and I think they're looking for improvement, just like we're hoping to see from our football team too. And this is no new thing for them to travel to a BCS conference place. You just look back in history. The first score that stood out to me, I remember distinctly when they were playing Nebraska, and I think it was like 15-7 in the fourth quarter, well into the fourth quarter. That got my attention. I think it was like 2003 or 4 or 5, somewhere in that ballpark. Went down to Mississippi State, won down there in the last part of the ball game, and in '06, I guess it would have been, they lost to BC, but it was a 22-0 game at Boston College. So they've been on the road. They've played in big stadiums. They go to Florida State next year, and my guess is they'll come in here revved up and ready to go, and we expect a tough contest. And I'll throw it out to questions. Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate any further on Nate's decision of playing time?
You'd have to ask him. I just think what I would say is that he did a nice job this camp, and we talked about him prior to the start of preseason practice, anxious to see what kind of growth that he exhibited, and I thought he did. He did a good job, practiced well, but just made the decision over the weekend that he thought he was going to move on. So we wish him all the best. He leaves here in good standing, good person, good guy, and did a nice job. Yeah, we'll get to experience both, somewhere down the season, down the pike, and I don't know how many we'll be favored in. Maybe this week we will be, but the big thing is, we're going into our opening ball game, and it doesn't really matter who we play. Our focus is really on us, what we choose to do, how our performance is going to be, and I think most notably right now we're anxious to see how this team demonstrates, what kind of improvement they demonstrate, and then also how they progress and develop, and it's going to be a process. So this will be our first opportunity, and a couple years ago, I know we opened up with Montana, probably a good comparable there, and it was a tough ball game for us. That score is misleading. It was a tough game. We really had to work hard there. They're extremely tough and well coached, and we expect the same thing from Maine.
Starting lineup pretty much set at this point with the today.
We double lined a couple players, and we still have some pretty good competition going on. So right now, a couple of positions are up for grabs as far as who's going to start. And then I think fair to say, too, because of the competition, we'll probably play a couple different players at several positions and just kind of continue the evaluation on here for a little bit until the picture becomes a little bit more clear. But I think for the most part, they're pretty healthy battles, if you will. And, it's just a matter now of seeing who does the best in game situations, which, it's really the next test. I think we double listed our left guard, middle linebacker, and I don't know, is there another spot on it? I brought a sheet down just to check kicker too. Yeah, so those are all they're all pretty even battles right now, and we'll just kind of keep watching until something becomes clear. But I think we've had pretty good competition, and that's been pleasing to see. I think there's a pretty good chance of that. Yeah, they both have performed well in camp, and some days they haven't, but for the most part, I think we're playing better with both guys, than we were a year ago, which is good to see.
You talked about with Nate's departure, how that affects the position already.
I think all of us were concerned a year ago. I say a year ago. After the season last year, what was going to develop at that position, and right now I'm pretty confident that we're going to play well at the running back position. Sean's practiced well, and we had a good feel for who he was, what he was before he got here, and he's had a good month. Hawkeyes has really, I think elevated his play a great deal, and we're very, very happy about that. And then the newcomers that have joined our football team have done a nice job as well. So the jury's still out because we haven't played a snap that counts. But based on what we've seen, we're pretty optimistic that we're going to be productive in the backfield, and that's good to see.
Which freshman do you think will play back there?
Probably maybe two of the three. We're not sure which two right now, but all three guys have really, I think, performed well. And they've acted like they've belonged. None of them have wide eyes right now, which is really good to see. And they've had an opportunity to be tackled, and they've exhibited good toughness out there. So I'm pretty optimistic about the whole group right now. He's got a hand deal, and I think he gets checked again today. I think it was today or tomorrow. But realistically, think he'll be able to get back. Depending on his pain threshold and all that type of thing. And it's easy for me to talk about somebody else's injury, but I think realistically maybe next week he'll have a chance to get back into things. We're probably a week or two away there, I'm guessing. But everything's moving forward, and it's I'm told a real predictable path back, so that's good news.
How many other true freshmen might play this year?
I don't know how many. The backfield's an obvious area where young guys have an opportunity. Probably the other two most apparent areas would be our back end on defense. So both backfields, if you will, and then the kicker position, obviously, because of the competition right now. It's pretty close to being even, I think, with Trent and Daniel.
You talked about Green. Sean Green was off the depth chart last week, back now at the top.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a good camp. He's had a good camp, and that's about all I can say. Just, I don't know if he's quite at optimal condition right now, but he's close. He's worked real hard, and first of all, he came in pretty decent shape, and then got good quality work. And he's missed a year's time, so he was behind the eight ball a little bit there, but he's worked hard. His attitudes have been great, and he's a mature guy. He's not a 15-year-old guy out there, and he looks that way. So, we're really excited about getting him back, and really optimistic that he's going to have a good season here.
You talked about the decision to go with Jake over his starter. Was there one at camp or?
No, just he came in as a starter, and he's, I think, practiced well, and it's not a matter of his performance. He's elevated his performance from the spring. I thought he was better in the spring than he was in the fall, and I think he's continued to improve, which is what we were hoping for. And then the other factor is just that Rick Stanzi, really a year ago, quite honestly, wasn't a factor in the race, or maybe we would have seen him, but I don't think he was really ever in the discussion seriously a year ago at this time. Spring he improved, and probably missed a third of our practice here in the fall, but the last 2/3 he's been out there, and he's really performing well too. So I think both guys right now have the capability of moving our offensive team, and that's a good thing. I think we went from a year ago not sure where we were at, period, to having two guys I think realistically that probably can go in there and lead our team. Now, we haven't seen Rick do it in game circumstances, and that's the next challenge for him. Just like for Jake, the next challenge is to perform better. And but it's true of every position we got right now. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, Bob.
Are you more impressed with the offensive line now?
Oh, we're gaining ground. We're gaining ground. Last time I saw you, I wasn't so impressed. That was 2 Saturdays ago, right? And that was not a highlight of the camp, that's for sure. But they've had some better days since then, and I think we're making progress. But it's going to be a while. We're getting there, but we're not clicking yet, just quite yet. But it'll come, I think. Yeah, we're just kind of moving everybody, trying to find the right combination, and once we get it, we'll probably lock in. But we're not quite there yet. Yeah, he's ready to go. He missed that Saturday, and I think he missed a practice or 2 prior to that, and then he was back. We were off that Sunday. He was back Monday, and he's doing just fine.
Do you have will there be any room to maybe stagger your 2 freshman quarterbacks, or is that?
I'm more worried about our 2 veteran quarterbacks right now. So, yeah, I haven't given that much thought, quite frankly. But we're happy with both guys. They're doing a good job, and yeah, but our focus really has been on the top end of things right now.
Anxious to have a chance to get a big taste back in your mouth after last season?
Well, our last outing in Kinnick wasn't a great memory, and we can mope about it, or we can hopefully use it to motivate us, and it'll be good. It's just going to be good to start playing again and continue this. As I said, we've tried to refocus back in March, and it's still our plan is to forge ahead here. So, yeah, it'd be great to get started. It's been fun to be with this team all of August, and we're looking forward to getting into the next phase, which is playing some games.
Give it a timetable for Strauss.
I'm sorry?
Give it a timetable for Strauss.
Wish I did. No, I just they're tricky. We're dealing with a couple hamstrings right now that are they're just hard to predict.
Start in hamstring them too.
Yeah, he might make it, he might not.
This season?
I'm sorry?
This season or Saturday?
No, Saturday. I'm talking about Saturday. No, he better make it for the season. All those guys. I mean, they're not that tricky.
How different is 1AA football now versus when you were coaching and playing?
I think there's probably more parity. I think we've all seen that. Certainly last year, one of the biggest upsets of the season was involved a 1AA team, or they've got a new classification for it. But I think there's more parity in college football now than probably any time, and it's it's probably that way in the NFL too. So it's kind of similar in that regard. But I think we're a pretty good example. We better be ready every week. We hopefully learned that lesson last year and the last couple of years, that we better be ready every week to play, and that's really kind of what we're trying to focus on right now. So we're hopefully going to be ready to go.
How much more meaning does this game have, considering that you're going up against the school that you once coached?
Not a lot, I don't think, other than, I know some of the guys across the sideline, which, I've never been wild about playing guys that I've worked with, and I've had plenty of opportunities to be involved in games like that since I've been back. And I'm, not particularly crazy about that, but that's just the way it goes. It is kind of interesting, I guess. I've only worked at 2 schools outside of Iowa, and we're playing both of them this year. But, whereas I really don't, there aren't many people left at Pitt that were there when I was there, so it's a little different circumstance. But certainly Maine's in my recent history, and not only the guys on the coaching staff, but there are an awful lot of folks up in Maine that I still stay in touch with, and that were just really, very, very good people to me when I was up in the university.
Just what are some of the memories that you had from your time there?
I remember the Hawaii trip, which I think was the first time we played a quote-unquote Division I school, and I can't remember how many stops we made to get out there. It literally was the longest trip at that time in college football. And we made it longer because I think we flew through like Atlanta down to Dallas over to Honolulu. It was a journey. It was literally a journey. And then I won't go the rest of the story, but yeah, anyway.